Having said that, okay, so today I would be discussing programming in general. Okay, so I will not be discussing anything about Java, because before getting into Java programming, I feel we must understand programming in general. Okay, so we'll discuss programming in general, and we'll clarify all our doubts. We'll understand things about programming, operating system, and all such kind of stuffs, and only then we will proceed with Java from tomorrow. Okay, so having said that, my first question to y'all is, okay, what is programming? Okay, so if you have any idea about what is programming, you can unmute yourself and talk to me. Okay, so I'll be waiting for your answer. What do you mean by programming? Any idea? Group, anyone who would wish to unmute yourself and talk to me? What do you mean by programming?
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Who is this? Naresh?
Sunil, sir.
Sunil. Yeah, Sunil, tell me, Sunil.
Programming is nothing but set of instructions to execute some task.
Exactly, that is what everybody says. Yes or no? Programming is nothing but set of instructions to perform specific task. Correct? You ask any student, they'll say this, right? No, what is programming? Programming is nothing but a set of instructions to perform specific task. Correct, Sunil? Yes, no, Sunil?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is what I said. But still, I have something different to tell you. Okay, no, I understand it is set of instructions to perform specific task and all that. Okay, but I feel, let me be more generic. Okay, so I think programming is nothing but an art. Don't you think? Okay, it is basically an art to communicate with a computer. Okay, to get your work done. Agree, disagree, guys? Okay, most of them, what happens is they argue with me. Students argue with me, saying that, sir, programming is basically science and not an art. But I strongly feel, I understand that programming is a science, but more often I always feel that programming is basically an art more than a science. Okay, it is an art to communicate with your computer devices to get your work done. That is basically what I actually call as programming. Okay, so let me give you an analogy. You want an analogy, guys? Do you want an analogy? Do you want an analogy? You want an analogy? I'll give you. Okay, so does anyone have 2.5 or 3 years old kid in your house? 2.5 3 years old kids in your house? Do you have anyone like that? Okay, if you have, okay, then you will understand that if suppose you want to actually get some work done, okay, by that kid, you want some work done from that kid, right? Say for example, okay, okay, let me give you a nice analogy. Okay, so you have a 3-year-old kid in your house. Okay, so and you have kept a mobile phone, very costly iPhone 12. Okay, you have kept on the table. Okay, and you have gone out for some reason, you went out, and that kid has actually taken the iPhone in its hand, and it is playing around with it, and it is about to throw it. Okay, now what will you do? Tell me, what will you do? You say that, no, okay, kid, give me, will you say that? Or you will try to slowly see? You cannot tell the kid, or you will not be able to make the kid understand how costly the iPhone 12 is. Okay, and you cannot say, hey, give here and all that, because the moment you go behind that kid, you know what the kid does? He will start running, or she will start running, and she will basically throw that iPhone somewhere. Agree, disagree, guys? Yes or no? Okay, have you gone through this scenario anytime? Okay, so the moment you go to catch that kid, okay, so immediately, you know what the kid will do? The kid will take that iPhone and throw it. That's the only thing that it can actually do, right? So you cannot use the same technique that you do with elders. Okay, you cannot talk in the same manner to the kid like how you actually do it with elders. It is not possible. You'll not be able to do that, right? So in case, what will you do then? Okay, you basically use the art of talking to the kid, right? You basically try to take the kid's focus somewhere else, try to go near to it, and then you try to control it, and you do a lot of other stuff. Basically, you don't try to pressurize it, and basically you will try to control that in such a way that the kid will not run. Yes or no? And you then talk, you convince in a very nice manner. Okay, like how you actually speak to the kid and all that. You will show some chocolates or something else, so that the kid will get attracted to you, and you then you get your work done. Yes or no, guys? You agree or not? Okay, don't you think that is an art? Yes or no? Just because you know some language, you cannot speak to the kid like that. You got to use the art of convincing the kid, so that the kid will actually give you your desired output. Yes or no, guys? Yes or no? Agree, disagree with me? Okay, so that is what I basically called as, the art of talking to kids. Okay, no, that is not science, that is basically an art. Okay, now say for example, and most of the time you cannot even use the same language. Might be, say for example, you might be a Kannadiga, you might be a Tamilian, you might be from Andhra, or you might be speaking Malayalam, whatever may be your language, right? But you know that kids will have its own language. Yes or no? Do you know that kids will have its own language? Okay, now you cannot tell the kid, 2.5 to 3 years old kid, you cannot say, go to the bathroom or go take bath and all that, right? So kids have their own language. Okay, so do you want to go to susu? This is what you ask. Correct? No, that is the language that the kids will use. Yes or no? Do you want to do Jojo? Yes or no, guys? Agree, disagree? Okay. Do you want to do Jojo? You'll not say. Do you want to go and sleep? Are you feeling sleepy? You'll not ask. You'll say, "Come on, kid. Let's do Jojo." Yes or no, baby? You use so many different words which are not universal. Okay, no, that is only kids language. Correct? So that is basically a language that you basically use it with kids to get the work done from the kids. Agree, disagree, guys? Yes or no? So your programming is basically like that. Okay, that is what I have always been understood about programming, right? Programming, I understand programming is nothing but set of instructions to perform specific task and all that, correct? But just because you know some language like C, C++, Java, Python, you cannot do any kind of thing so that you get your desired output, right? You need to have an art. Okay, programming is an art, okay, using which you communicate with your computer devices in such a nice manner. Using that art, art itself says how nicely you'll have to use your logic in getting your the thoughts into some program so that your computers will understand and computers will actually give the desired output. You cannot just say it is science. Okay, I understand it is science, but more of it, okay, more than science, I strongly feel it is an art. Okay, so programming is nothing but an art of, okay, conveying your ideas and thoughts to computer devices in a manner that the computer will understand, so that it can actually help you out and give you your desired output. Guys, is that okay? Okay, what is programming? Programming is an art of, okay, conveying your ideas and thoughts to the computer in a language that it can understand, so that it will give you the desired output that you are actually looking for. That is basically called as programming. Guys, you have anything to ask me, you can ask me. You have anything to ask me? Okay, yes, no, you want to ask me something, you can ask me, right? Do you want me to repeat what I said? Do you want me to repeat what I'm actually trying to tell you? Yes, no? Okay, very simple, guys. Programming is an art of, okay, conveying your thoughts and ideas, okay, in a way that in a way that your computer will understand, so that it can actually give you the desired output. Okay, that is basically called as programming. Is that okay? Is that okay, guys? Right? Just stop me if I'm fast. Is that okay? Right? Having said that, fine, boss. I understood what is programming, but the next question is: there are many people who are very new to programming in this, classroom. Okay, so it's for them, right? So, okay, I understood what is programming, but first of all, why should we do programming? Tell me, why should we do programming, guys? Okay, why should we do programming? Any idea? Why should we do programming? Anyone can? You can unmute yourself and you can tell me why should we do programming?
Sir, because it is the mode to communicate with the computers.
Who is this?
Sushma, sir.
Sushma. Sushma, why you must communicate with the computers, Sushma?
Because it doesn't provide the language we know, so we have to
Okay, but
come
why are
down
you
to
talking to computers? Why can't you do by yourself? Why are you asking the computer to do? You are lazy,
uh,
is it, Sushma?
to listen.
You're Sushma,
Yes, sir.
no? You're Sushma, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
Sushma,
sir.
are you lazy to do all the work by yourself? Why are you asking the computer to do it?
No, no, I'm not lazy, but I want the work to be done a little faster.
So what is happening because of that? Because the computer will do the work little bit faster.
It's saving my time.
Yeah,
I
so
have
what
many
is
others.
happening? Exactly, it is saving your time, so that what is the result? What is happening? Correct. You are
It's
coming to
and it
the
is giving me the desired output, and it is specific. It is
correct. So what is the result of that? What is the result of that?
it's
So,
accurate.
it's not only accurate, but it is something, see, Disha is telling in the chat box. What is it? Okay, what is it? It is giving you comfort, isn't it? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
Don't you think it is making you comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Sushma, yes or no? Correct,
Yes,
no?
sir. Yes.
Yeah, so basically it is making your life simpler. Agree, disagree? It is making your life simpler. Yes or no, guys? Okay. Why
Yes,
we
sir.
do programming is because it makes our life so simple, right? No, right? So let me give you an example. Okay, let me give you an example how this life has become very simple. Okay, so I am taking you to 10 years back. 10 years back. Okay, 10 years back when you know almost 10, 12 years back, not more than 12 years back. Okay, when I was in college, and if I had to actually go and watch a movie, and if it was a super hit movie, what used to happen, there was no PVR and all the time. Okay, so there was single screen theaters, and we had to, if suppose it is a superstar movie, it is a super hit movie and all that, what I had to do, I remember 2 3 movies I had to actually, previous day itself, we used to stand in a long queue, bunking our college, bunking our classes. We used to stand in a long queue, book the ticket for tomorrow's matinee show, or first what is that, evening show. We used to book the ticket and then come back. Yes or no, guys? Okay, but now, almost 15 years down the
Yeah.
line, if you notice now, right, you can
Yeah.
never see a single person in a line standing there. Okay, yes, I know there are some times. Okay, what do we do now? What do we do now actually? Even before going to the theater, sitting at home, we actually book our tickets using bookmyshow.com. Yes or no, guys? Yes or no? No, don't you think bookmyshow.com has been done using some coding? Okay, it has, some programming has been done. Don't you think because of programming, our life has become so simple? Agree, disagree? Put that in the chat box. Agree, disagree, guys? Yes or no? Now, long back, okay, if I had to take admissions, or I want to collect money from my students, I would ask my students to come to the office and do it. Nor, or so they used to come to our academy, and they used to pay the fee, and they used to take the receipt and all those and go. Correct? No, but today, all of you over here, most of them have done net banking, or you have done Google Pay or Paytm or Phone Pay or whatever it is. Yes or no? Most of them have done UPI. Check out here, the life has become so simple. Yes or no, guys? Right? So you want the receipt, it is already there in your Google Pay. The receipt shows that I have been paid to them, right? And one of the fantastic example which is live, which is happening, is Zoom call, right? No, long back, meeting students, you'll have to come to the classroom, sit and teach and do all those things. But now see how the programming has made life so simple, right? We are sitting somewhere, you guys are sitting somewhere, and you are listening to my lecture. Yes or no, guys? Right now, don't you think programming is making life so simple? Okay, so this is why you have to do programming. When someone asks you why should you do programming, the only answer that you got to give them is that to make our life simple. Yes or no, guys? Yes or no? Right now, guys? Right? Are you understanding what I'm trying to tell you? So okay, so what is programming? Programming is basically an art of conveying our ideas and thoughts to the computer, so that computers will actually give us the desired output. But why should we actually talk to the computer? Okay, so why should we do programming? We have to do programming so that, okay, it makes our life so simpler, right? Now, can you imagine going back 10 years and living the life that how your seniors or your elders used to stay 10 years back? Absolutely no. Now, can you imagine a life without WhatsApp? Tell me, can you imagine a life without WhatsApp? Right? Absolutely no. Especially people like me. Okay, our entire academy runs on WhatsApp. Entire academy runs on WhatsApp. We cannot imagine a life without WhatsApp, guys, right? And forget about us. My mother's always, she cannot live without updating WhatsApp status. Okay, anything special happened in the family, even I go to the family, something happens, update status. Okay, WhatsApp status, right? So this is how life has changed. Okay, and I cannot imagine going back 10 years, and when there was no Facebook, when there was no WhatsApp, there was no Instagram and all that. Life is very difficult now. Okay, it has become so smooth these days, right? Ola, Uber, take any example for that matter. Okay, programming has definitely made our life very, very, very simpler. And count my words, okay, mark my words, that 10 years down the line, from now on, 10 years down the line, right, if you find, okay, if you say that you do not know coding, you do not know programming, then you would be considered illiterate, right? Do you have any of your elderly people in your home who does not know to operate a phone? Okay, who does not know how to do net banking? Very old people, very old people. Okay, 60 plus years of age, you all have? Yes or no? So how difficult they find it actually, operating this phone and all those things? Yes or no? Now similarly, 10 years down the line, okay, if anyone who does not know basic coding, okay, he would be considered an illiterate. Mark my words. Okay, you will definitely realize this, because today everyone must at least know some basic coding, at least. Okay, no, so that is how the world has actually turned, guys. Is that okay? Is that okay? Right? Okay. So having said that, so I think you understood what is programming. You also understood why we do programming, right? So any doubts here? Shall we proceed to the next question? Anyone? Anyone? Any question? We can proceed to the next one. Shall we proceed? Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So then, how do we do programming, guys? How do we do programming? Tell me. How do we do it?
Sir, by thinking logically and writing proper instructions and commands.
Who is this? Sushma only?
Sir, no, sir, I am Firasat.
You are Firasat.
Yes, sir.
Firasat, yeah, you told me right, but we need programming languages for that, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, correct. What you told is right. Absolutely right. Correct. We'll have to logically think and all those things. That is right. Just by logically thinking, you'll not be able to do programming. No, we need programming languages. No, Firasat, yes or no, Firasat?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we need programming languages. Okay. So can you give some examples for programming languages? Yeah. Can you give me some examples for programming languages?
Java, C, C++.
Yeah. So let me start from C, then C++. Okay.
Swift.
Yeah, Swift is there. Then we have Java, we have Python, we have Swift. Okay, then what else we have? Okay, what else we have? Okay, say PHP, it seems. Okay, so there are so many programming languages, right? So we basically do programming using such programming languages. Yes or no, guys? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir. Yes,
Yes or
sir.
no, you're understanding. So I started with what is programming. Then I told you why we do programming. Then I told you how do we do programming. We do it using these programming languages. Correct, no? So once what happened long back, some 10 years back, I had been to one very reputed college in Karnataka, very reputed college while I was in GE Healthcare for campus recruitment. Okay. So there, it was for MS. I'm not naming the college and all those things. Okay, we had been there for recruiting interns, right? So there, I told them, I asked the students few questions. Okay, so one of the question was, can you give me some examples for programming languages? So one student, okay, I remember one or two students, okay, not one or two, even almost 5-6 students gave the same answer. Like they told me C, C++, and they gave some languages. Along with that, they said Linux. Okay, now guys, do you think Linux is a programming language? Okay, do you think Linux is a programming language, guys? Okay, because there might be students in my class who might not know that. That is the reason I want to just take it up over here. Okay, now do you think Linux is an operating system? Sorry, programming language? Absolutely no. Linux is not a programming language, correct? No, Linux is basically an operating system. Okay, so if anyone has this wrong idea, so I'm just trying to remove that from your head. Okay, so Linux is basically an operating system and not programming languages. Okay, so let us discuss about operating system a little later, just after the slide. So before that, did you understand how do we do programming, guys, using programming languages? Yes or no? Okay, I want everyone to put that in the chat box so that I can proceed further. Did you understand this slide till here? Okay, what is programming, why we do programming, and how do we do programming? Yes or no? Did everyone understand? Everyone clearly? I think everybody are matured enough to understand what are the programming languages and all that. Yeah. Okay. Right. Having said that, okay. So Harinath is telling repeat once again, sir. Can you tell me what is that you want me to repeat here? So programming languages are those languages that the computer, you will act like how you actually talk to the kid using kids language, right? Similarly, when you want to actually talk to computers, right, you cannot use your own languages. Okay, you cannot use English, or you cannot use Hindi, or you cannot use Tamil, or you cannot use Kannada, or you cannot use Malayalam, right? Because computers don't understand that, right? Computers will only understand, okay, binary language. Okay, so but just because we cannot understand, we cannot speak binary language, we have designed few programming languages for the computer, and that is called as your high level programming language. So tomorrow's class I will be discussing about what do you mean by high level programming language, low level programming language, and all that. So don't worry about it. Okay, for now you must understand that. Okay, so to talk to computers, we use something called as programming languages, okay, only for the sake of computers. And some of the examples of programming languages are C, C++, Java, like how you have Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Tamil, and all that, right? So to talk to computers, we have various computer languages called as C, C++, Java, Python, Swift, or whatever it is. Guys, did you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Yes or no? Right? Is that okay? Okay, so I think Sahil, this is not the what language is Windows is made up of. Use Python, CSS. Sahil, I think this is not the right platform to discuss that, Sahil. Okay, but because you have asked, I'm just telling you. Okay, all operating systems are written in C language. Is that okay? So kindly request everyone to avoid talking unwanted. I mean, not to get into something unwanted things. Okay, so just did you understand this? Because just Sahil have asked me, I'm just telling you. Okay, any operating system is most probably 90% of the time is written using C language. Is that okay? Is that okay, Sahil? Sahil, is that okay? Right? Yeah. So okay, so did you understand what I'm telling you, discussing till here? Okay, because when I start focusing on something else, it will go somewhere else. That is the reason I don't want to just move somewhere else. Okay, so is that okay? Yeah, awesome. Right, having said that, now what do you mean by an operating system, guys? What do you mean by an operating system? What is
Sir,
it?
a software that interacts with computer hardware and other applications.
Who is this?
Sir, Mohammad Ashwaq.
Mohammed?
Mohammad Ashwaq.
Oh, Ashwaq. Okay. So Mohammad Ashwaq, yeah. So operating system is what? Can you please repeat it, Ashwaq, once again?
It's a software that interacts with computer hardware and other applications.
It's a software which will interact with computer hardware and other applications. Okay, fine. So shall I give you an analogy, guys, for your understanding? I'll give you a beautiful analogy. You want an analogy? You tell me. Okay, or else I'll directly speak technical. Nothing, you want to understand properly, I'll give you an analogy. Okay, fine. So Ashwag was right, but I'll make it more clear with an analogy. Okay, now assume there was a man, okay, who was actually working with an ex-serviceman or someone, some ex-serviceman or ex-military person, right? Ex-military person, right? So he had a beautiful daughter. Okay, he had a, I mean, the arrow mark is ulta, sorry. Okay, the arrow mark should be reverse, right? It should be like this. He had a he had a beautiful daughter. Tell me, who we had a what did this fellow ex-service fellow had, this ex-serviceman had? Okay, you guys put that in the chat box. No, he had a beautiful daughter, correct? No, now this father is worried about this daughter. Okay, so daughter is now 26 years. Okay, and he is actually trying to find a very good match for this daughter. Okay, that is, he is actually searching for a good husband for this daughter. Okay, because it's always worrisome for every father who has a daughter, to get a good husband for his daughter. Yes or no? So but he is trying everywhere. He has applied in shadi.com, matrimony.com, that matrimony.com, this matrimony.com, everywhere he has put. Okay, but he is not able to find out a very good husband who is working with Apple, Amazon, Microsoft. That is what this fellow is actually looking for, right? A husband who is actually working for Apple, Google, Amazon and all that. He is not able to find out. Okay, no, so he tried his best, but still he is not able to figure out some very good husband. He is not able to find some husband. Okay, now tell me, finally, where will he go? Whom will he go in contact, guys? Tell me, whom should he go in contact?
God, sir.
Huh?
God.
Oh, who is this? Who is this?
Saumya Ganapati, sir.
Saumya Ganapati. Okay. SPC extrude. Okay. Saumya Ganapati. Very good. Okay. So Kirtana Ganapati sister. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So our broker and all over. Okay. See, Saumya Ganapati told correctly, right? So this ex-serviceman went to God. Okay. He went to God. Where is God? Where is God? Tell me. Hindu God. We'll keep Hindu God for now, for example. Okay. He will go to God, right? No, so this is God. Okay, God is in temple. Okay, and this ex-serviceman is over here. Okay, this is ex-serviceman. Okay, so assume this fellow is ex-serviceman over here. He's here. Okay, now tell me, guys. Okay, can this ex-serviceman directly talk to God? Is it possible? Okay, is it possible to talk to God directly? Not possible. Yes or no? Why it is not possible to talk to the God directly? Tell me, guys. Why is it not possible for the ex-serviceman to talk to the Saumya Ganapati? Tell me, why is it not possible?
So, because he didn't know the language of God.
God, exactly, right? No, ex-serviceman does not know the language of God. Okay, what is the language of God? Hindu God. What is the language
Sanskrit.
of Hindu God? Exactly, it is Sanskrit. Yes or no? So the language of Hindu God is Sanskrit, but this ex-serviceman don't know the language Sanskrit, correct? So what is that he will do now? Tell me, what is that he will do, Saumya Ganapati? He will actually approach Pujari. Yes or no? So there is one middle person over here. okay, who is an expert. He is a pujari or a pandit or whatever you call, okay, no, there is a pujari. So what he will do, ex-serviceman, ex-serviceman will bribe the pujari, correct? No, he will say, pujari, take this fruit, flower and all that. He will give all the fruits, flowers and all that and say, see, on behalf of me, please go and talk to the god and tell him that my daughter needs a very good husband who's working with Google, Amazon and all that, okay, and get the blessings from God. Okay, so pujari, okay, assume he's a very good pujari. Okay, see, there are some dirty pujaris, very bad pujari. What he will do, he will take all the fruits, flowers and all very freely from this ex-serviceman, from people, and he will pray to the god, instead of in behalf of these people, he'll pray for his own daughter. Dirty fellows, right? But let us assume in our example the pujari is very good. Okay, so he will actually take the fruits, flowers and all that, and then he will actually pray to the god saying that, you know, give it to, I mean, so he'll say swaha, 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 dum dum dum. He'll do something, you know, that how priest will speak very fast. They will speak, no, swaha, swaha, something like that. He would actually say, and you know, God will say tathastu. Right, God will say tathastu, and pujari will go and give the prasad to the ex-serviceman. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
Yes, no, tell me, correct? So my question is that to you guys, okay? So why did this ex-serviceman go and speak to the god, I mean, go and speak to the pujari instead of the god directly? Is because, okay, ex-serviceman don't know the language of the god. He had to make use of the pujari to actually get the work done. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no, everyone? Yes or no, guys? Tell me quickly. Did you understand this? Soumya Ganapati, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So my question now is that, okay, so don't you think this ex-serviceman, okay, can directly talk to the god, or can't he learn Sanskrit? Can't he learn Sanskrit? Can't he learn Sanskrit?
He can, sir,
Okay,
but
let
I
us come
think
to
it
that.
takes a very
Okay,
long
so
time.
let us actually talk to that. We'll talk about that later. Okay, we will talk about all those things later. For now, let us understand about operating system. Okay, now, so this is basically an analogy for me to explain an operating system. That is, in the technical terms, computer terms, God will become your hardware. Okay, no, this is your hardware. All your you know, your memory devices, including your RAM, hard disk, CPU and all that, is basically your hardware. Okay, no, so now you have your application on top of it. Okay, what is the application? Let me call it as bookmyshow.com. Bookmyshow.com is an application. It's a software application. Yes or no? Now tell me, now when you go and book your seats using, you know, tickets using your bookmyshow.com, you will be giving your username, you will be giving your password, you will give all those amount details and all those things. So a lot of information you're giving for the, you know, giving it to bookmyshow.com. Okay, now do you think where will all those information be stored, guys? It should be stored on the database, no? It would be stored on some database, right? All those
Yes, sir.
information would be stored in database, right? So basically, where is the database? Finally, it should be stored on some hardware device, some hard disk, or somewhere it should be stored on the server. Yes or no? Right? Now, can this bookmyshow.com directly talk to the hardware and say, boss, go store it in the hardware? Is it possible? Is it possible, guys? Tell me. Possible
No,
or not
sir.
possible? It is not possible. Yes or no? So what will bookmyshow.com make use of? Bookmyshow.com will make use of an intermediate person called as your operating system. He is called as your operating system. Therefore, okay, bookmyshow.com, whatever you enter details, bookmyshow.com will first talk to the operating system internally, which you cannot see. Okay, so he will talk to the operating system. Operating system will in turn contact the hardware, store all those details, and if you want to retrieve details, again he'll give back, and this operating system will give back to your bookmyshow.com. Okay, so therefore operating system is nothing but a software, okay, which will act as an interface between your application software, okay, your applications and your hardware. You understanding, guys, what I'm trying to tell you? Okay, it is basically an interface, okay, who will, okay, on behalf of the application, it will talk to the hardware and get the work done for you guys. That is basically called as an operating system. Is that okay? So more precisely, the core part of the operating system is called as the kernel, which I'm not going more detail into for now. Okay, guys, did you understand this? Yes, no? Okay, so if you have understood this, then I have a question for you now. Okay, the question is that, let me come back to the analogy over here. Okay, coming back to the analogy over here. Okay, guys, I can hear some noise in the background. Kindly request you to mute yourself. Okay, so please don't disturb the session. I kindly request you to mute yourself. Okay, yeah. So the question here is that, okay, now can't this ex-serviceman directly talk to the God? Possible? Not possible. Can he directly talk to the God? Can he directly talk to the God is my question. Okay, no.
Possible,
So,
sir.
possible? How is it possible, Soumya Ganapati?
He can learn Sanskrit from
He can learn
someone, and
Sanskrit, yes or no? So if he wants to talk to the God, he has to learn what? He has to learn Sanskrit.
Sanskrit.
Correct. But now tell me, how long will it take to learn Sanskrit? How long will it
Really
take
a
to learn?
long run.
He would take long years, yes or no? Okay, daughter is
Yes, sir.
already 28 years. Daughter is already 28 years, and if he takes another 10 years for learning Sanskrit, yes or no? It is not an easy language. Sanskrit is not an easy language.
Yes, sir.
Anyways, okay, for 10 years is needed to speak at the frequency that the pujari will speak. See, God cannot understand normal Sanskrit. You have to speak. Have you seen how pujari will speak to the God very fast? Why do you think the pujari will
Yes, sir.
speak so fast to the God? Because God has to listen to so many prayers, yes or no, right? So pujari will be
Sir.
very fast. You won't even know what is he actually bombarding in his mouth. You will not even know, right? So to get that speed, you have to spend 10 years, right? Now, but you
Yes, sir.
investing 10 years, then learning Sanskrit, and then going and talking to the God to give the husband to your 28 years daughter. Okay, so totally this age of this lady would be how much? 38 years. Okay, is
38
it practically
years.
possible for her to marry at 38 years, guys? Yes or no? Tell me.
No,
Yes or
sir.
no? No, not possible. Correct? No, it is not possible, right? So what is the best thing?
Yes.
And this fellow has a lot of other work to do. He's working as a security officer in one of the big company, right? And he has no time to go learn Sanskrit and all that. So he thinks when there is a person who can actually go and talk to the God, he's an expert in doing that. Why should I do the work of Pujari? When Pujari is there, let me make use of him. No. Correct, no, guys? You getting
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
trying to tell you, guys? Okay, no. Similarly, you might ask me a question, right? Then we come to this part now. Coming to the technical part. Let me ask this question. Okay. So the question is that, okay, can't bookmyshow.com directly talk to the hardware? Okay, the question is like this. Okay, like the analogy I asked. Okay, so similarly, can't bookmyshow.com, that is the application software, can't it talk to the hardware directly, right? Yes, it is possible if you write the code, whatever code has been written in the operating system to talk to the hardware. If you write that code in bookmyshow.com, yes, possible, correct? No, but tell me, is bookmyshow.com's duty to go and talk to the hardware or to do ticket booking? What is its job? Yes or no? Now tell me, the job of
booking.
ex-serviceman is to talk to the God or to go and work as a security officer? What is his job? You tell me here. Tell me, guys, what is the job of ex-serviceman? He's security officer. Why should he go and learn Sanskrit to talk to God when there is a person over here? Similarly, bookmyshow.com is written so that people can actually book tickets. Okay, bookmyshow.com is written thinking that there is a person who can help me talk to the hardware. Correct? No. So that is the reason bookmyshow.com need not go and talk to the hardware. Okay, because there is a person, there is an expert who is actually doing it, and he is basically called as an operating system. Guys, did you understand what is an operating system now? Operating system is basically an interface between your applications and the hardware, right? Application will ask for some services from the hardware, which your operating system will acknowledge and give it to your applications. Okay, he is an intermediate who can actually talk to the hardware using softwares called as drivers. Is that okay, guys? I'm not going more detail into it, but I'm just trying to give you an idea. Okay, did it make sense, guys, about operating system? Did you understand? Did it make sense? Okay, did you understand clearly what exactly do you mean by an operating system, and how does it actually get into this picture of application and hardware and all those things? Did you understand where is it actually getting placed? Yes, no, everyone? Yeah, cool. Okay, any question you can unmute yourself and ask me out so that I can proceed further. Only then I'll proceed further. Okay, my idea is so that everyone must understand it. That is the only thing I have. I don't mind even if it goes for another half an hour, but yes, I want everyone to understand this. Anything else? You want me to answer anything else, or shall I proceed to the next slide? Anything else, guys, here in the session? Okay, I'm waiting for a few seconds. Anyone else? You can unmute yourself. Don't hesitate. You can unmute yourself and you can talk to me. Is that okay? I'll proceed. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to take a picture or anything of this, guys? Do you want to take a picture of this? Just take a picture and say took so that you can revise, because I will not be giving all these things. It's not there in the material and all that. You can actually take a picture of this. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, so Kausalya is asking, can we call OS as interface between user and the system? Okay, so user and the system, no, I don't think it is the right way to call it. Okay, I will only say operating system is basically an interface between an application that the user uses. Okay, now I cannot say it's an interface between the user and the system. No, it is not the thing. I would say operating system is only an interface between an application that the user uses and the hardware. Is that okay? And the system or whatever it is that okay? Right, Kausalya? Okay, right. Having said that, right? So now, so we just discussed, what is programming. Then I asked why do we do actually programming? Why do we actually do programming? And then we discussed how do we actually do coding. Okay, that is programming, right? And then I also explained what is basically an operating system. So can you give me an example for operating system guys? Can you give me a few examples of operating system? Okay, so any idea? You can put that in the chat box. Okay, so yes, we have something called as Windows. Okay, then we have
Linux, Mac.
Yeah, Macintosh we have, and then we have what else? We have Linux. Okay, no, Ubuntu. Now listen to me guys, listen to me. I'll clear this question to you. Now listen to me. Okay, now people, I can see few people have told that what is that? Ubuntu is a version of Linux. Okay, so version of Linux, it's basically, again, Linux is not basically an operating system. Okay, Linux will become your operating system kernel. Okay, so if you want to make it as an operating system, you are supposed to say it as GNU Linux. Okay, GNU Linux. Okay, and Ubuntu is one of the flavor of Linux. It is not a separate operating system altogether. Is that okay? Fedora is again, Fedora is again a flavor of Linux. Understand this properly. Okay, so Ubuntu is again, when you say we have Ubuntu Linux, okay, we have Fedora, okay, and we have lot of other flavors of Linux, okay, Kali or whatever it is. Okay, so we have a lot of distributions, exactly, distributions of Linux operating systems, right? And now we have Unix is again a proprietary operating system. Okay, now again Sahana says Android. Android is an operating system, but again Android, when you go more specifically, Android is only a library written using C++ and Java. And if anyone is using your Android mobile phone, at the core level, Android makes use of Linux. Is that okay? Android makes use of Linux, okay, as the kernel. Android is basically a framework or an library which is written on top of core kernel, Linux kernel. Is that okay? So that is how it is, right? But basically everybody started calling Android as an operating system. Yes, it is an operating system, but it is nothing without Linux. So the kernel that the Android uses is at the core is Linux. Is that okay, guys? Is that okay? Yeah, so Fedora is again a distribution of Linux. Is that okay? It's a flavor of Linux. It's a another company which actually distributes Linux. Is that okay, guys? Making sense? Yeah. Okay, DOS again, earlier operating system, now it's actually a part of your Windows, right? It is just a small part of your Windows. Is that okay? Right? Okay, cool. Having said that, right? Is Microsoft an operating system? Microsoft is a company that owns Windows operating system. Is that okay? Yeah, Microsoft is a company that owns Windows operating system. Okay. Yeah. So what do you mean by GNU? GNU is a acronym for GNU is not Unix. Okay, it is called as a recursive acronym, okay, or something like that. So I want you to go and just check out your Google or do some research on it. GNU stands for GNU is not Unix. Okay, so it is a free software foundation founded by who is that guy? I forgot his name. Okay, so it's a license. They give it a license for GNU and all that. Okay, so just go do some research on it. Okay, yeah, all right. It's basically a kind of standards. Okay, yeah. Now, having said that, what makes a professional programmer? I have discussed this yesterday, but I felt it is so important that I want to actually put that into your head. I want to actually also share a small story with you, right? So by the way, yesterday whoever attended my session, can you tell me what makes anyone a professional programmer, guys? Can you tell me what are those three ingredients? Okay, first one, you should be really good at the concepts and syntax. You must be really very good at concepts and syntax. Okay, you cannot say that I'm very good at logical thinking. Okay, you might be very good at logical thinking, but if you want to implement or you want to solve a problem, or you want to talk to computer, you got to have a knowledge of some syntax of programming language. Yes or no, guys? Agree or not? Right? You might be really good at logical thinking, you know how to solve a problem, but what if you don't know the concepts or you don't know the syntax of a language? How will you be able to put those ideas into a practical programming implementation? It's not possible, right? So how much of a logical thinking you have, if you don't know the syntax of a language, it's not possible, right? But having said that, this alone is not enough. Okay, now there are few people who says I know only concepts and syntax. Even that is not enough. Okay, it is a mixture of all, right? So concepts and syntax is very important. That is the first thing, right? What is the second one? What is the second one? You must be very good at logical thinking. Yes or no? You must be really good at logical thinking. Okay, so what do you mean by this logical thinking, guys? What do you mean by logical thinking? You can unmute yourself and talk to me, right? What do you mean by logical thinking? Logical thinking, guys, tell me. Guys, what do you mean by logical thinking? Anyway, any idea? What do you mean by logical thinking? No, it's not. Yeah, practical thinking. So what is it? Okay. So
Thinking
logical,
about various.
yeah, it means very simple. It means, say for example, okay, it's, see, most of them feel that logical thinking is when logical thinking is something all about programming, right? It's not just about programming. No, listen, yeah, it is used in programming, but it's not only applied only for programming, right? So now let me tell you, if suppose you become the CEO of a company. Okay, you become the CEO of a company and you find that the shares of your company is going down completely, right? Now that is where comes your logical thinking. So what is that you can do so that you can get back the trust of investors to your company back? Right now, what is the way to actually solve a given problem that you had not faced earlier? Guys, did you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Okay, so logical thinking is that how do you use your thinking to solve a problem that you had not encountered before, right? It's very new to you and you want to actually solve a particular problem, right? It's not only in a company. If suppose in your house there is a problem, okay, there is a fight between your father, mother, or your father's brothers or something like that, and you want to actually solve that problem, like how do you actually solve that problem using your logical thinking skills so that the problem gets solved? You're understanding it? Okay, so most of them feel logical thinking is only about programming. It's not just in programming, right? Anywhere you go to your now, okay, a teacher, if teacher wants to actually solve a problem that a student is facing, okay, student is unable to read, or he's not coming to college properly, he's not coming to class properly, so how can a teacher logically think to solve that problem of student not studying so that he'll come back on track, he'll come to he'll get back to track, right? So you understand what I'm trying to tell you? So logical thinking is making use of your thinking capacity to solve a problem that you had not encountered before in such a way that you got to actually solve it in a right manner in a very limited time. Did you get that, guys? Did you get that? That is basically called as logical thinking. And when you yeah, so now when you put that into programming, okay, where do you use it? In most of the startups, when you're actually building a new product, okay, so when you're building a new product or a new feature, okay, say for example, LinkedIn recently came up with something called as stories. You know that LinkedIn has come up with something called as stories. You know that, yes or no? Okay, Instagram had stories, Facebook had stories, LinkedIn newly came with something called as stories, right? So that is basically a feature, okay, which was not there on LinkedIn. And if LinkedIn had to bring in that new feature, it is a new problem, yes or no? So you will have to use your logical thinking to develop code to actually develop that feature called as stories. You're understanding what I'm trying to tell you? Yes or no? So logical thinking comes into picture when you are trying to build something new which was not existing, right? And most of the startups, okay, who are building a product needs programmers who would actually have very good logical thinking skills. Is that okay? Yeah, exactly. So Gmail came with meeting in lockdown, something like that, right? So logical thinking comes into picture, or logical thinking comes handy when you want to develop any product or feature of that particular product from scratch. Is that okay, guys? Yes, no, did you understand what is logical thinking? Yeah. Okay. Now, what is the third one? What is the third one? Okay. Third one is, okay, you got to be very good at debugging. Okay. You got to be very, very, very good at debugging, guys. Okay. Shall I share a small story with you, guys? shall I share a small story where I understood the importance of debugging? Okay, so 2010, I was recruited to this company called as Motorola Solutions. Okay, so that time, long back, we were actually, taking care of 4G technologies. We were, so Motorola had outsourced their project, this entire 4G, to this company called as Wipro. Okay, no, and they recruit, and I heard that, so we were recruited for, this Motorola Solutions. We're trying to bring back this entire project, that is 4G, that they had outsourced to Wipro back to Motorola, and they wanted some developers to start continuing with that. Okay, so they recruited me as part of their team. Okay, so I was part of their team, and the moment I joined, immediately for 3 months they sent us to Wipro, so that, because Wipro were developing that project for Motorola from past 3 years, so for knowledge transfer. Okay, so to learn how they were developing and all that, they sent us to Wipro. So 3 months we used to go to Wipro, and we came back, and we were implementing. So the project got over, so we took back the entire project from Wipro, and we were there in the development team in Motorola Solutions, right? So one fine day, our manager named Maniangat Merimold, okay, so she immediately called a meeting with entire team members, and she said, okay, so we are planning to hire one person from Wipro, okay, who was already working there on this project from past 3 years. We are planning to buy him from Wipro. Did you know that? Did you listen to the word that I used? Buy him, BUI, buy him from Wipro. I was like shocked. Okay, why should you buy him, right? So the manager said he is very costly. Wipro is not giving him, but we are going to pay huge money to Wipro, and we are buying him. But when she said we are going to pay huge money to him and buy him, I personally did not like it. Okay, I felt, why should you buy him? Give that money to us. I would do more work, and why do you want to actually pay huge money? We are there. No, why should you actually buy a person from Wipro? Okay, so because that person was 7 years experienced, and he was actually working in that project for 3 years, right? So I personally did not like that decision. Okay, and then finally, I mean, they will not listen to me anyway. So the manager paid huge money to Wipro, and they got that guy into Motorola. Okay, his name was Vijay Dodde Gowda. Okay, okay, I'll talk about that person in a while. Okay, so then I really did not like. I even didn't feel like going and talking to him and all that, because that ego problem somewhere long back. Okay, that ego problem was there in my mind. Okay, so one fine day there was a bug which occurred in the project. Okay, and it was assigned to me, and it was a minute bug, but I was unable to get that desired output. I tried my best. So the time given to me was 1 week, and I was sitting with that bug for 15 days. 15 days, it's almost more than 2 weeks. I could not figure out how to solve that problem, and nothing can be done. So I had to go to that guy Vijay Dodde Gowda, okay, leaving all my ego, saying that I could not solve this. And he was almost elder to me by more than 4 to 5 years. He was very elder to me, and I had to go to him. I told him, Vijay, see, I have a problem like this. I'm trying my best. I'm not able to get this output. I don't know what's the problem. Simple thing he told is, open this particular file, go to so and so line, okay, change that variable name to something else, okay, put this value and see whether that will whether the bug will vanish or not. He just told me this. I was shocked, and trust me, I went there and I exactly did how he said. He didn't even actually open the code and see and all that. He just told me, go open that file, change that variable name and insert this value and see what will happen. I went, I did exactly how Vijay told. My dear friends, my mind was blown. I was with that bug for 15 days, and this guy within a moment told me what to do, even without seeing the code. And that day I understood, and the bug went off. Okay, it started working perfectly fine, right? That is when I got to know the importance of debugging, and then I got to know why Vijay was bought with a huge sum of money. You're understanding it? My 15 days was equal to just a single, some 2 minutes with Vijay. That's all, guys. Right? No, that is when I started telling all my students, and I started narrating the story to each and every student of mine, like how important is debugging, guys. Okay, you cannot say I will only write the code from scratch. No, it's not. I was a person like that. I was a person who said, boss, I will be able to write code from scratch. Okay, but I never thought debugging plays a very important role, right? He just told me, just go open that file, change that variable name, put that value. I still remember that day. Okay, I did that, and I understood how much debugging is important in a programmer's career. Okay, so until you are good at these three concepts right now, that is these three elements, right? Concepts and syntax, logical thinking, and debugging, you cannot call yourself a programmer. Okay, so debugging comes handy when you want to maintain, okay, an already existing code, right? No, so 90% of the time when you actually get a job in an IT company, most of the time you will be actually doing debugging because somebody has done the project. Okay, so suppose if you join Facebook today, assume you join Facebook, do you think you will develop Facebook app from scratch? Yes or no? You tell me, will you develop Facebook app from scratch? No, it is already built. It's already built, and now you have to do some bug fixing there. Yes or no? Small minute, feature enhancements. Okay, like how LinkedIn came up with stories and all that, there would be some bug there, and you have to sit and maintain such kind of projects. And maintaining such projects also needs what is that it needs? What does maintenance needs? If you want to maintain a huge project, what is it you need? You need debugging skills, right? No, without debugging you will not be able to become, or you cannot call yourself a professional programmer. Okay, no, so 3 elements, guys, please put this into your head. You need to be very good at the concepts and syntax. Second one is you should also be very good at logical thinking, and third one is you should be a master in debugging, guys, right? No, I gave you an analogy yesterday about a car, driving. I think who was driving? Joshua was driving, isn't it? Okay, he was driving from Salem to Bangalore or something, and got, so you should know, when given a big project, when there is a small bug, you should know where to go and tap exactly, so that you can remove that bug. Okay, and that is why people pay you money. Yes or no, guys? Yes or no? That is the reason why company pays you money. Company pays you heavily, because you know where to go and tap at the appropriate place, so that you can save time and move ahead with the project features. Is that okay, guys? Is that okay? Making sense? Making sense, guys? Yes or no? Yes, no? Making sense? Yeah. Awesome. Okay. You want to ask me anything? You want to ask me anything? You can unmute and ask me. You have any? You have to ask me anything? You can ask me quickly. Yeah. Anything you want to ask me quickly, guys? I'm waiting for your. You know. Okay. Okay. Right. Right. Okay. Right. So having said that, I mean, guys, please don't hesitate. Okay. If you have doubt, you can definitely ask me. It's okay. If it is a silly doubt also, it's okay. If it is silly, I will tell you it is silly. So don't worry. So please make sure that you ask me doubts, guys, please. Okay. It is not a free workshop, anything. You have paid for this, and you have to understand each and everything. It's my responsibility. If you don't learn, I feel guilty. So please make sure that you have actually learned it. Is that okay? Can I proceed further? If I'm fast, let me know I'm fast. Okay. So please, is that okay? I'll proceed further. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Right. Now, what is the difference between system software and application software? Any idea? You can, you can unmute yourself and you can actually talk to me. Okay. So,
Sir,
Sir, system software is to operate a computer hardware.
okay.
And as
Is it Rohit?
yes,
Yeah, Rohit. Tell me.
and system software is to operate a computer hardware.
Okay.
And application software is used to perform a specific task.
What do you mean by specific task?
programs.
Okay. 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 Let me. The first part was right, Rohit. The first part was right. Okay. So any software or any code that you write so that their computer works. I will make it more simple. Listen to me very carefully. Any software or any code, guys, can you, if there's a disturbance, please, mute yourself. Okay. Yeah. So, any code that you basically write, any program that you write so that your computer works for the sake of your computer, okay, is basically called as your system software. Okay. So as Joshua gave an example, right, and Sindhu gave an example, right? So it's basically your entire operating system. Your operating system is basically an system software. Okay. So okay, so Sangeeta is telling, I think system software used for server side application software used for no, Sangeeta, no. Okay, so listen to me. Okay, so now, okay, let me ask this question. Okay, let me write a diagram for you guys. I'll write a diagram for you over here. Okay, here, it's here, right? Now this operating system is basically a system software. It is a system software. Yes or no? Okay, it's a system software, right? Now tell me, without the system software, do you think this bookmyshow.com will work? Tell me whether bookmyshow.com will work without this operating system. Okay, yes, no? Will it work? Will it not work? Okay, it cannot work. Yes or no? Why it will not work? Why doesn't it work? It doesn't work because, okay, operating system duty, see, operating system will have, what all does it have? It has performance management, process management system. It will have, okay, file management system. Yes or no? It will have a scheduler, correct? No, it has a scheduler, correct? And it has multiple device drivers, correct? No, it has so many drivers, correct? So why do you use all this, right? Now you tell me, do you, when you are actually, you know, booking ticket on bookmyshow.com, are you really bothered about how many processes are running in your operating system? Please tell me, are you bothered about how many processes are running in your operating system, how many processes are running in this, you know, server maintained by bookmyshow.com? Okay, now when you are actually booking your ticket on bookmyshow.com, are you really bothered about how many files are there on bookmyshow.com server? Are you bothered about it? Yes or no? You're not bothered about it. Are you really bothered about what is the driver, you know, when I'm actually trying to book my ticket using bookmyshow.com? Okay, are you really bothered about how bookmyshow.com is going to go and talk to the hardware and touch the database and all that? Are you bothered about it? No, right? You're not bothered about it, right? Why you're not bothered about it? Because, okay, your operating system is the one who will actually go and talk to the hardware, and he will drive the computer, correct? No, so any code that you write for the sake of driving your hardware is basically called as your system software. That is called as your system software. Okay, no, like your compilers, okay, your operating system, your schedulers, your process management system, your file management system, right? Entire parts of your operating system is basically a system software. Your shells, right? Your operating system shell is there, your terminal, anything for the sake of your running your hardware is basically called as your system software. Okay, and any application that is used by your human beings, right? No, like say for example, tell me who will use bookmyshow.com? We ourselves, right? We human beings make use of bookmyshow.com, right? Who will make use of amazon.com? Who will make use of amazon.com? If you open your phone, okay, you will have a lot of apps, no guys? If you open your phone, you'll have a lot of apps. Can you see that? You'll make use of a lot of apps, right? So many apps are there, correct? So all these apps you will make use, or it's for the system? Tell me, the apps are for the system to work or for human beings to operate on it? Yes or no? It's for the users. It is for our benefit, right? So all the software that is written for the sake of the benefiting the users is basically called as your application software. Correct? No, so application software will internally make use of system software to get the work done. And only when there is the application softwares are designed thinking that there is a system software to help the application software do the desired operation. Okay, so that is basically the difference between your application software and system software. Guys, is that okay? Do you understand that? Yes, no? Yes, no? Okay, so what is an application software? Application software, the software is written for, okay, for the human beings to interact or get some work to be done, right? So that is basically example, makemytrip.com, amazon.com, all your mobile apps and all those, they're all application software. Okay, and then your system software is nothing but, you're operating any code that you actually write for the sake of the system, not for the sake of any human beings. It is only for the sake of your system, is basically called as your system software. Okay, and now you might ask me, okay, let me ask you, okay, so to develop okay, let me first ask you a question. Do you have any other questions to ask me? Then I'll proceed further. Then I'll ask you a question. Did you understand the difference between these two? Okay, did you understand the difference between these two? Yeah, everyone clear? Right? If that is the case, then the question is, okay, which is the programming language which is very famously used for developing system softwares? Which language will you use to develop system software? Okay, for system software. Okay, so all system software is developed, okay, using C language. Okay, so Sahil was asking me in which language is Windows written. Okay, the core kernel of Windows operating system, or your Unix operating system, or your Linux operating system, okay, is written using C language. Okay, no, it is C language. C is the only language which is used, okay, to write your system softwares. Almost all operating system kernels are written, or most programming languages compilers are written using C language. Your Java compiler is written in C language. Your Python is written in C language. Okay, your C++ compiler is written in C language, right? So all those are system softwares. I understand Python has different other versions of you have Jython, you have C Sharps, iron Python and all that, but the core, the standard distribution of Python is written in C language, right? So C is the only language which is basically used for writing all system softwares, because it has the power, and C language was basically developed by Dennis and Ritchie to talk to the hardware and not to talk to the human beings. Is that okay? It was used for developing operating system. C language was basically used for developing operating system, and that is why C is the only language which is used for system software. It does one of the fantastic job of doing it right now. So Nireksha Kotwal, C compiler is written in C language with a mixture of lot of assembly instructions. Is that okay, Nireksha? Yeah. Okay, right. So, right, did you understand the difference between? Subhash sir, can you say Rohit to mute because minute noise is coming? Okay. Okay, Rohit darling. Okay, so Sahil is complaining about you. Okay, that there is a minute noise coming. So mute yourself, Rohit darling. Is that okay, Rohit darling? Sahil, is that okay? Sahil, is that okay? Yeah, cool. Right? No problem, Rohit. It's okay. Sahil, say no problem to Rohit. He will feel bad. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So, shall I proceed further, guys? Anything that okay? Now, so now my question is, okay, can't we use? The question is like this: can't we use Java for system software, guys? Can't we use Java for developing system softwares? You can unmute and you can answer to my question. Can't we use Java for developing system software? Sunil is telling no. Okay, no idea, sir. Okay, Sahil is telling no. Okay, Sunil is telling no, no idea, sir. Okay, can anyone tell me if yes, why yes? If no, why no? What is it? Anyone trying to tell me? Why can't we use Java for system software? Possible, not possible? Okay. Okay, sir, we can use platform independent Java. Guys, any idea? You want to tell me? Anyone want to unmute and talk to me? You can talk to me. Okay. Right, because this was one of the question asked to me by my previous student. Okay, he said, sir, can't we use Java for system software? Okay, so can't we use Java for developing our own operating system? Okay, so what do you think? Okay, so understand this very clearly. Okay, currently the operating system is working perfectly fine with C language. It has been tested and it has been developed with several man years, several hundred years have been, not several hundred years, but still quite an amount of time, almost 60, 70 years or 80 years have been done. I don't know exactly, but still lot of time has gone into develop a very good operating system, which is very nicely working today, right? So why do you want to actually reinvent the wheel using Java? Okay, no, yes, it is not that it cannot be done or anything like that. Okay, so you might be able to do it, but Java was not designed to develop an operating system. Understand this fact. Okay, so Java was developed thinking that there is C all doing the job at the bottom. Okay, so let me actually develop Java for the sake of helping the applications to build some application logic or business logic. That is the idea with which James Gosling built Java. Okay, so his idea was not to reinvent the wheel, right? So whether it is possible or not, okay, so nobody in this world would ever try to go and reinvent the operating system because it is a very big task, okay, and it requires a lot of money, investment, resources and all that. So it might be possible, might be, but my question is why should you actually reinvent, right? So Java was not written for it. Okay, while designing Java, James Gosling knew that, okay, C is already doing the job of talking to the hardware and my duty is not that. Let me actually take care of the application level, is why actually Java did. Okay, but now I was actually going through one of the beautiful languages that has been developed by the original creators of Unix. Okay, I don't know how many of you know that Ken Thompson and team were the people who actually developed the Unix. Okay, they have come up with one more operating one more language. Did you know that? It is called as Go. They call it as Golang. Okay, so Golang, I am a keen observer of this Go language, right? So I was very much I'm observing that. So Ken Thompson, who was the real Ken Thompson, and these people, right, Rob Pikey and all that, they are the people who develop Unix. So they say that they have been involved in Go language developed by Google now. Okay, they are employees of Google now, right? So they say that we are planning to rewrite the entire operating system using Go programming language, where C was procedure oriented language, Go is an object-oriented language. They want to actually make use of this object-oriented language to design the operating system once again. Okay, so I don't know how far they would be successful. Okay, so this is just an information that I would actually like to give you. Okay, so now they are Google guys, but earlier they were with Bell Laboratories, right? Ken Thompson and Rob Pike and all are marvelous guys. Okay, is that okay? Is that okay, guys? Did you understand what I'm trying to tell you now? Okay, so I told you what is the difference between application software and system software, and system software is completely written using C language. Okay, and application now Java is basically used for application softwares. Okay, and Java assumes that okay there are many libraries written in Java which makes use of C internally. Okay, we need not know C, but still it makes use of C internally. And James Gosling wrote Java thinking that there is someone who can actually do the job of talking to the hardware, and that is there. Let me take care of the application part, and that is the reason why Java was written. Okay, so let me reverse the question. Do you think can we rewrite all the application software using C language? Is it possible? Is it possible to rewrite everything that has been rewrite the? I mean, can we use C language for developing application softwares? Is it possible? Okay, see, I want you to become mature. Okay, that is why I'm asking all these questions. Okay, so if you ask me, I don't think anyone has tried, but I strongly feel C has the power to go and you can develop. Okay, you can develop all your application software, because if you see internally, okay, Java's compiler or C++ compiler are written in C language, right? When those compilers written in C language, I strongly feel you can actually go and make C language useful for application software. But I don't think it is not the need for the hover, right? So let it be just focused on system software. Is that okay, guys? Is that okay? Guys, can you please unmute yourself? There's a lot of disturbance. Can you mute yourself, guys, please? You must understand that. Can you please mute yourself, everyone? Please mute yourself. Don't disturb the sessions, no, please. Yeah. Okay. Is that okay, guys? Did you understand this thing? Yeah. Shall I move to the next one? Yeah. Yes, no, guys, just put that in the chat box. No, I want everyone to put that in the chat box. Yes, no. Okay. So did you understand? You want me to answer anything else? You want me to answer anything else? I'll proceed further. Yeah. Just say proceed so that I can proceed further. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Right. Having said that, right now, there are many people who ask me this question, which is the best programming language? Okay. Now, what is your opinion, guys? What is your opinion? Which is the best programming language? Okay. Okay, C, Java, all. It's a stupid question.
Java, sir.
Java. Who said that? Who said Java?
Sir, Suhas.
Suhas. Why do you think Java is the best programming language? Who gave the
Sir,
award?
in your workshop, you said that Java is top one.
I told you TIOB index, it is ranking in number 3 now. Today it is number 3. Okay, first is C, and second Python has come to the second position. Last month Java was in the second position. This month Java has come to the third position, and Python has gone to the second position. Did I tell you it is the best language? Did I tell you it is the best language, or I just told you that rank wise it has been rated by TIOB index?
Rank wise, you said.
Rank wise. Did I tell you Java is the best language? No, right? I just told you that the number of people who are using Java is more. Okay, no, is what I said. So
programmer, sir.
What is that?
It's all depends on programmer.
Exactly. It depends upon the not only on the programmer. Okay, so see, first thing understand that. Okay,
Programming language has its advantages.
Who said this? Who is telling this? Because yeah, true, man. Because right. So see, only some immature fellows will ask such kind of questions, right? No, or they will, they will fight. Okay. So if you go and talk to any embedded system person, okay, there is an embedded system guy who is working on C language. You go and talk to him and say, which is the best language? He'll say C is the best language. Java is a dirty language. He'll say. Now you go and talk to this guy who is actually working with Java. He'll say Java is the best language. C is a dirty language. He'll say. Now you go and talk to a person who is working on Windows. He will say C# is the best language. The others are very worst language, right? So they're all immature fellows, stupid fellows, right? No, they don't even understand. It is not like that, right? It is not that C is best or Java is best or Python is best and all that. You cannot say, okay, you cannot say father is the best, mother is the best, or sister is the best, right? Everybody has a role to play in their life. Agreed or not, guys? Yes or no? Each and every being has a role to play. You cannot say he is the best person or I am the best person, or you cannot say Subhash is the best teacher or someone else is the best. You cannot decide that, right? No, right? So see, a person who is good to you may not be good to someone else. Correct? Agree, disagree? Agree or disagree, guys? Right? A person who is good to you may not be, who is good to you may be bad to someone else. So it all depends on circumstances, correct? Now, similarly, when you say programming language, for an embedded guy, okay, Java cannot be best. For him, C is the best, because the problem that he is trying to solve in hand is totally different from what Java can actually solve, right? Now, when you're actually developing a web technology, you cannot say, you cannot say C is the best. Of course, you have to say Java is the best for web technologies, okay, when you're working on that kind of project, right? Because C was not developed for developing your web application. It was developed for talking to your hardware. It was written for writing device drivers, right? Java was not written, was implemented for writing device drivers. It was used for writing business logic. Correct? No, guys, it is an object-oriented language, right? So C++, similarly Python, right? So every programming language has its own pros, its own cons, okay? It can be used for a particular application and it cannot be used for some other application, right? So it all depends on what kind of project you are doing, who is your programmer, who is your technical lead, what is that you are actually trying to solve, what is your end goal, right? So a lot of things comes into picture. So there is nothing like best programming language. So please don't get into this language war, okay? Many immature fellows during your college days or even in companies, they get into this language war on the internet, right? This is best, that is best and all that. Understand, each and every language has its own pros and its own cons. There is nothing like best programming language, but yes, there is a company called as TIOB Index, okay, who will actually, very frequently ranks programming language based on the number of, people they are actually, number of projects that are currently running, okay? Sahil, it's not just yearly, Sahil, they do it monthly. They do it, Sahil, actually every month on month they do it, Sahil, okay? And they update. If you see last to last month, Java was in the second position, okay? And immediately Python has now taken over in the second position, okay? So taken over that Java to the second position, right? So they do it every month, okay? And it only indicates, Python also can come down, okay? If you see 2018, okay, C was in the first position. Entire 2019 Java was in the first position. Now Java came down and C went to the first position, okay? So a lot of factors, it depends on a lot of factors, okay? So yes, end of the day, I want to conclude by saying that there is nothing called as best programming language. Each and every language has its own pros and cons. It is used for few applications, it cannot be used for some other applications, okay? Is that okay? Do you understand this? Making sense, guys? Is it making sense? Okay, Zebana is asking which language has more processor. Okay, again, you cannot say that, right? Okay, you cannot say that. Again, I'm telling you, it is all depending on what you want to actually achieve, right? That's how it is, right? Yeah. Now, so I will make you more matured about the different domains in the IT industry. Little bit boring topic, but still I think this is very important for you to become a matured programmer. You must understand this, okay? Now, guys, tell me, what do you mean by a domain? What do you mean by a domain in an IT industry? What is a domain in an IT industry, guys? Any idea what do you mean by a domain? Okay, no, domain is not domain is not a job role. Okay, no, domains in IT industry are like that. Okay, so have you heard of e-commerce? Have you heard of e-commerce? Okay, no, that is basically a domain. Okay, no, so have you heard of healthcare? Have you heard of healthcare? Okay, that is basically a domain. Okay, have you heard of banking? That is a healthcare. Okay, have you heard of embedded systems? Okay, embedded systems. Okay, that is basically an what is that? It is an domain. Okay, have you heard of gaming? Okay, gaming is basically a what is that? A domain. Okay, so banking and finance. Okay, it might come here. Banking and finance might come here again. Okay, but banking or finance, let me write it. This is basically a domain. Okay, so domain is nothing but a field. Okay, a particular field. Okay, which uses software to solve its problem, right? No, so each and these are all different domains. Okay, this is a domain, healthcare is a domain, banking and finance is a domain, embedded systems is a domain, gaming is a domain. Okay, so for example, let me give an example for e-commerce industry. Okay, so e-commerce industry, can you give me an example for education? Exactly, even education. Okay, education is basically a domain. Okay, now can you give me an example for e-commerce, guys? Okay, I'll give you Kausalya, give me a moment. Okay, so e-commerce, everybody, okay, it's amazon.com. Okay, so when you're actually a software developer in amazon.com, okay, you cannot call yourself as an embedded developer. You basically call yourself as an e-commerce developer. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys, right? This is basically e-commerce industry, right? Now when you come to healthcare, I was in GE healthcare. Okay, so I was actually working on x-ray machines. If you go to any hospitals, any hospitals, if you are taking an x-ray of your hand or any part of your body, if you are taking an x-ray, it would either be of GE, okay, it would be of either GE, Philips or Siemens. Philips or Siemens. Okay, no, so these they develop all your medical equipments. They come under healthcare. Okay, no. Now, if you take banking or finance, right? No. So the Jain's Indian Infosys basically, okay, runs a software. Okay, it is called as, I think, Finacle or something like that. I forgot the name. I think it's Finacle. Okay, so Finacle is a product by Infosys which will help your banking, all your net banking. Take any banks, they'll have software, no, for net banking and all that. Okay, so all those comes under banking sector. Okay, now embedded systems, your mobile phones in hand, your hardware part, your chipsets, right? No, and mobile phones or your chipsets and all such kind of things. Okay, so Arduino is a very small part of embedded system, very small part. Arduino is a very, mobile chipsets and all that. Developing drivers for mobile chipsets, audio, music, and end of the day, making use of your writing software for your hardware is basically your, embedded systems, right? So your, what do you call for that? This thing. Qualcomm is again a company. Qualcomm is a company. This is not a company. Okay, I'm just giving an example. Okay, so Qualcomm is an embedded system company. Okay, Intel is an embedded systems company. Okay, Intel, Qualcomm. Okay, Qualcomm, all chip manufacturing companies, Qualcomm, Intel. These are basically different domains or industries. Gaming. Okay, Scientific Games, very famous company. Scientific Games. Okay, gaming.
Tencent.
Games. Okay, have you heard of Accenture? Is not a product based company, it's a service, it does everything. Okay, so Accenture is not a gaming company, right? So Accenture, dirty company, dirty fellows, all dirty fellows. Don't worry, I don't think about that. Okay, so have you heard of Scientific Games? Okay, if you go to, have you been to Goa? Have you played casino? Have you got into any casino and all that? Okay, or casino and all that, yes or no? Right? If you see, I mean, at least have you seen in some movies dons playing and all that in casino, in bar and all, they'll be playing games, gambling and all that, right? So such kind of software is written by Scientific Games. They are very famous for it, right? Now education, I don't remember any company which is, for all your education softwares and all that. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is these are the different domains in IT industry. I'm going to give you a very important suggestion today, very important suggestion. Okay, so you won't get it anywhere else. Okay, yeah, for Byju's, you can call Byju's for education anyways. Okay, so I'm going to give you a very important tip for today, so please listen to me. So please stop chatting and listen to me very carefully. Okay, so you might ask me, many students ask me, Subhash, which domain should I join? Okay, should I join e-commerce? Should I join healthcare? Should I join banking? Should I join embedded systems? Should I join gaming? Should I join education sector? Which is that I want to do it? Okay, so my suggestion to you is, as a fresher, when you are a fresher, you can join any sector. Okay, no, you can join any sector. You can either get into e-commerce, you can get into healthcare or anything. Okay, it is not that e-commerce is better than healthcare or healthcare is better than banking or banking is better, nothing like that. Okay, as a fresher, get into any domain. Okay, you can become a developer, software developer in e-commerce industry. You can become a software developer in healthcare industry. You can write software for all these machines, X-ray machines. Okay, you can actually become a software engineer, software developer for developing banking softwares. Okay, you can become a software developer anywhere. Okay, not a problem. But okay, as a fresher, if you have, for example, okay, got into gaming, you got into gaming, assume you got into gaming as a fresher, no problem. And in gaming you are developing using, say for example, C++ or Java. Okay, that is your skill, right? Now you will work in one company, say for example Scientific Games, for 2 years. Okay, you would work here for how many years, guys? Put that in the chat box. For how many years you'll work? You'll work for 2 years, right? And now after 2 years, okay, Infosys calls you. Okay, after 2 years, now what is your total years of experience? What is your total years of experience? Tell me. The total years of experience is 2 years, right? Now Infosys will call you saying that, okay, we have an interview. Infosys is calling you now, okay, for banking. Infosys is calling you for banking after 2 years. After 2 years, it is calling you for banking sector and says, we are looking for people who has good knowledge about C++ and Java. And as gaming here, they were paying you 10 lakhs salary, 10 lakhs package. Okay, and Infosys will tell you, I will be paying you immediately 20 lakhs salary. Okay, so like this, right? And they are expecting you to have some 2 years experience in C++ and Java. Now most of them, what they do is they will forget about this domain and they will skip their domain from gaming to banking. Okay, no, because they see this package and immediately they will skip from gaming to banking. Okay, but the programming languages are same. Okay, so but in gaming you used to use C++ or Java to solve the problem related to gaming domain. Okay, and in banking you are supposed to use C++ and Java to solve the problem related to banking domain. Okay, no, so two different domains, two different problems and same languages, right? And the mistake that you do is you jump to this banking and here you work for 2 years. Here you work for 2 years. Now later some other gaming company will call you, okay, they will advertise saying that we need gaming developers, okay, who are having 4 years of experience in gaming. Okay, now tell me guys, will you be able to apply for that position? Will you be able to apply for that position? No. The reason is you are having 4 years of experience, but the relevant experience is only for 2 years in gaming. Okay, your total experience is 4 years, but the relevant experience is only gaming, guys. Yes or no? So please don't do this mistake of skipping the domain once you actually, as a fresher, join. When you join into any domain, right? When you get into any domain, okay, continue the domain. After 10 years, okay, you must be called as a gaming professional. You must be a software developer in gaming. You must know the in and out of gaming. Okay, or if as a fresher, if you got into an embedded systems domain, then don't skip your domain. Be in embedded systems lifelong. You, after 10 years, you should be called as an embedded system professional. Guys, are you getting what I'm trying to tell you? Okay, when you skip domains, your relevant experience won't be counted. It would come down, right? So don't skip your domains. Have your domain. You must be a networking professional, embedded professional, gaming professional. Okay, so that is how you have to be, and for that they will actually pay you money, right? I have seen a lot of people who actually skip domains. Okay, I have skipped domains, but my idea was not to be in IT industry anytime. I always wanted to be into education. I wanted to teach people, but I skipped domains just to see how can I use these programming languages in a very different way to solve the problems of gaming. Okay, I mean, I was not into gaming. I was into healthcare. I was into embedded systems. I was into healthcare, and I was into telecom. Okay, so in all the three industries I have seen how to use these languages. Okay, I have used C++, Java on embedded systems. I have used C++ and Java in healthcare. I've used C++ and Java in telecom. So I know how to use these three different languages in three different domains, so that when I'm teaching my students, I will be able to give them examples. For that reason I skipped domains right now. So I don't want you, if you are very serious about making a career in IT, as a if you want to go and become an architect, if you want to go to that level of architect level, then I would strongly suggest you not to skip domains. Okay, if you want to be an architect, say for example a 5G architect or 6G architect in future, right? So you must be working in that. I remember when I was in Motorola, right, the architect who was helping me out when I was developing the 4G, I was into performance management in 4G, right? The architect was from US, okay, Milwaukee, US. He was almost 16 years experience only in telecom. He knows in and out of telecom industry. Correct? No, see how proud I am. I'm talking about that person, right? No, so I want you to be an architect like that in one particular domain, right? So don't skip your domain, guys. Guys, is it making sense? Is it making sense, guys? It's a really $1 billion, suggestion to you guys. Please don't skip domains, right? Now, don't look for the package. Okay, look for the domains. Is that okay? Yeah, awesome. Having said that, can I proceed further? You have any doubts to ask me over here? Okay. Is a product a synonym for a domain? No, Jagdish, product is not a synonym for domain. Okay, so say for example in embedded domains you can have CPUs, or you can have mobile phones, okay, mobile chipsets, or any other chipsets. They are all different products in one particular domain. Okay, now when you take healthcare, you have X-ray machines is a product. Okay, mammography is a product for detecting breast cancer. Okay, so like that you'll have different medical equipments. There are different products under healthcare. Okay, no, so hope Jagdish you understood what I'm trying to tell you. Is that okay? Did you understand, Jagdish, what I'm trying to tell you? Right? Yeah, how to choose domain. I told you, you can choose any domain as a fresher, not a problem, right? But only thing is when you are becoming experienced, don't skip the domains. Is that okay? Yeah. All right, yeah, awesome. So what happens, what is commonly needed for every domain is 1 or 2 programming languages in detail. That is, I would suggest you to have 2 procedure oriented language and 2 object oriented language in detail, have a knowledge, and 1 operating system thoroughly, right? So if you're a C++ Java developer in Siemens, and you would you can use the same C++ and Java in some other domain, right? Suppose you're learning Java now. Okay, so Java can also be used in e-commerce domain. It can be used in healthcare domain. It can be used in banking domain. Only thing is the way you use Java in different domains is totally different. Okay, the language remains same, but the way you use Java to solve a problem belonging to e-commerce is totally different from the way you use Java to solve a problem in banking domain. Guys, did you understand what I'm saying? Is that okay? Right? Jagdish, which is the best domain according to you? I told you, there's no best domain and all that. It depends. There is no best domain and all that, right? Yeah. Okay, so I think Swatish will answer that question later, Satish. Okay, Yeah, okay, right. Guys, I am moving to the next topic now. Okay, I think I made you a bit matured about domains and all that. Okay, right. Now coming to that, how many programming languages to learn? Very important question. Okay, so as I've been telling you, okay, I'm seeing a huge shift in the industry over here. I can see more and more professionals learning more and more languages. Okay, so earlier I used to actually get calls from industries. Okay, when we for placements and all that, I used to get calls for only for C or for Java or only for one specific language. But today people are asking, companies are asking for candidates who really know one or more than two languages. Especially they ask, are they good at C or C? I say then yes. Then if they're good at C, then they ask, are they good at Python or Java? We need a mixture of all these. So such kind of trend has been set over here. So my sincere suggestion to you is that okay, so you learn this once. Okay, so complete Java and start learning some other languages, especially the top 4 languages: C, C++, Java, and Python. Okay, so I would definitely suggest you to go through this. Is that okay? Yeah. So how to choose OS? So you don't. What do you mean by how to choose OS, Ajit? I did not understand your question. Who must choose OS? Who must choose OS? I don't understand your question. In the company and all, you don't worry about the OS. That is your architect or your client will tell you on what operating system your thing has to work and all. I did not understand your question. How do you choose OS? Okay, I seriously did not understand your question, Ajit. Okay, yeah. Is Android development a domain? Okay, Shekhar is asking, is Android development a domain? Okay, I don't think it is a domain. Android development is not a domain. You use Android for X-ray machines, you use Android for your mobile phones and all that. Android development is not a domain actually. Okay, Android development is a skill. That's all. Okay, so if you want to do Android development, you must know C++ and Java. Okay. Okay, so Balaji, is Ubuntu is flexible for doing Java? Of course, yes. I have done a lot of coding using. I mean, all my Java would be on. I would be doing it on Linux or Unix only. Okay, no, I love Unix. I love Linux. Okay, so it's very much flexible. Okay, very flexible. Is that okay? So this is what it is. Yes, guys. So anything else, guys? I think I'm done with today's session. I think I have given you information about general programming concepts. I think you learned something new today. So I'm waiting for your questions. You have anything else? You can ask me. Guys, anything else? You can unmute yourself and you can ask me, guys. Hello, anything else? You can ask me. Don't ask me any questions. Hello, can you hear me, guys? Am I audible? Am I audible? I'll wait because only you say okay, no doubts, only then I can. Yeah, so 1 minute.
So
1 second. Sahil sir, can you explain 6th slide? What is 6th slide? Application system software and application software. Okay, so system software, any software that you basically any code that you write for the sake of driving your hardware. Okay, so for the hardware to work, say for example your operating system, okay, or anything for that matter, any device drivers for that matter. Okay, that is basically called as your system software. And any software that you basically write for the human beings to work on, like say for example your apps on your mobile phones, they're all called as your application software. Okay, yeah, someone was asking me, sir, who was that?
sir, that's me, sir.
Yeah, who is this? That's me.
Sir, Soumya Ganapati.
Yeah, Soumya Ganapati, tell me.
Sir, you told about a lot of domains, sir, but I have no idea about any domain. Do we get any idea about those domains during the 4 years of engineering? I don't know how to choose. Like, I'm not asking which is the best, but I don't know anything. Then
don't
is
worry.
it better to choose it?
No, don't choose any. Don't worry about it. Okay, so learn your programming languages and operating system thoroughly. Once you start attending your interviews, right? As a fresher, say for example, you might get a call from GE Healthcare example, and you clear your interview, right? Then you would be into healthcare domain. Okay, and then continue from there. If suppose you get a call from Qualcomm and you're attending your interviews of Qualcomm, you will be into embedded domain. So don't need to worry about any domains for now. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I'm Radhika.
Yeah,
Sir,
Radhika.
yes, sir. I'm asking. Suppose you are saying like C, C++, four languages must be. You have to aware this. Okay, sir. So if we switch one language to another language, so is there any difficulty? We face any difficulty and when? Yes, sir.
Give me an example. I don't understand. If you switch the
like
language,
suppose we are learning Java, okay, and we switch like Python and all, because sir, I don't know. I already said this. I started from zero.
Okay.
And long years back, like 5 years back.
Okay.
in my study. So
Okay.
I just want to know, can I switch in another language?
Switch means you want to learn another language.
Yeah,
You
if we
want-
learn like Java and we are switching like Python. Okay. Suppose you are saying you must know these.
Okay, so let me see. I mean, just tell me if I have understood your question correctly. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you're asking me if suppose you learn Java, and after completing Java, if suppose I'm going and learning Python, so will I be able to learn Python? Is what you're asking me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely yes. Now I can talk in C, C++, Java, Python, Go. I can talk anytime. Even midnight, 3 o'clock, you wake me up, I can talk. Okay. It's only because I've understood the pattern very nicely. Okay. I can give you, which project, which language to use. Okay. Because I've understood it very nicely. You can do it. Not a problem.
Okay, sir.
Only thing is you'll have to practice, yeah, Radhika. You'll have to practice it a lot.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
And one more suggestion is teach others. That is the best way.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Radhika,
sir.
did I answer your question?
Yeah, sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Cool.
In a very good way.
Okay, right. So, Radhika, that's your kid or someone?
Yes, sir. I have kid.
Oh, your kid, even kid is learning Java, then awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Thank you,
So, yeah, so you said two program, one OS to be learned. So, which OS is to be learned? If anytime you get a chance to learn an OS, I would always recommend you to learn Linux. That's a fantastic operating system. I love it. Okay, that's my second wife. I love Linux a lot. Right, that's how it is. So I don't have a Java compiler. Which one should I install? Thyanesh, tomorrow I'll discuss about Java installing and all tomorrow. Don't worry now. Okay. Yeah. Sir, being electronic student, if an interviewer asks why you choose IT, what to answer? That is not the question, or that's an HR question. Okay. So I think I would defer to answer that now. I think we can answer that later. Okay. So anything, Darshini, can you, don't mind that I'll defer that because it will take a lot of time to explain. We'll have a session for it later. You have anything else in the discussion that we had today, Darshini? I would be very happy to answer that question. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So how is working in one particular language in one domain? Darshini, is it okay? So please don't get annoyed. Don't feel bad. Okay. Yeah. So sir, how is working in one particular language in one domain different from working in the same language in other? No, 1 second. Faria Mariam, how is working in one particular language in one domain? One particular language in one domain different from working in the same language in other domain. Okay, right. So I cannot explain that now because you have to experience it, because the problems faced in two different domains are two different things. The algorithms that you will have to develop, the templates and the structures that you will have to develop to solve a problem in one domain is totally different from other domains. So if you want to use a language to solve the problem related to some other domain, you'll have to adapt that language for the structure or the template of that particular domain. Okay, and there is a huge difference. It's not one difference. Okay, so the pattern, the design pattern itself will change, right? That is how it is. That is why I told you in that way. Okay, yeah, right. Are there specific combination of coding languages or skills to be prepared for specific domains? Mohammad Ashwaq, I did not understand your question, Mohammad Ashwaq. Okay, are there any specific combination of coding languages? Okay, guys, I think you can unmute yourself and talk to me here. I am not really feeling it very difficult to understand what you have written. Are there specific combinations of coding languages or skills to be prepared for coding languages or skills to be prepared for? I'm not understanding that question.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Ashwak, tell me.
Sir, we have to learn two coding languages. So for specific domains, do we need to choose languages like Java, Python, Java, C, or?
Okay, languages, yes, sometimes yes, but what happens, and sometimes, when you want to develop your web applications, right? Today, people are also using Java and people are also using Python. Okay, say for example, your company suddenly decides, okay, let me give you my example. When I was in my first company, SPI Computers, we had developed a whole project using C language. Okay, the entire application was written in C language. And suddenly, okay, the client said that, we don't need C anymore. We want to convert this. We need to port the entire project using C++. Okay, so in that case, I never knew C++, then I had to learn C++ and then implement the complete thing into C++. So similarly, when suppose you are developing your entire business logic, web applications, server-side programming is in Java, and your client says that, Java is no more required, I want you to develop using Python, then of course, then you will have to either learn Python or you will have, if you already know Python, then you will have to implement it. In that way, it is necessary, really, really necessary. Okay. Is this the question that you asked me?
Yes, sir.
Is this, or you want me to repeat once again? I can explain you once again. Anything else? Is there anything else?
No, sir. If you have decided to enter any domain, we need to prepare according to it.
No, no, no.
That's
Yeah,
what-
yeah. No, no, no. Yeah, I understood. Okay, I got it. Okay. So if you want to enter into any domain, okay, what is commonly required? You're asking me, right? So
Yes, sir,
commonly,
yes.
yeah, I understood. So commonly required is learn, okay, say one, basically, let me tell you very honestly, okay, learn Java and Python thoroughly. Okay, no. So anyways, if you have decided to get into embedded systems, core embedded systems, okay, learn C thoroughly. That's what it is. C and Linux thoroughly. Okay. And if in embedded system itself, if you want to write application on top of your hardware, right now on chipsets and all that, okay, even on top of your operating system, right, then you must learn at least Java and Python. At least Python you must learn, right? So if you want to get your application side and you want to actually develop website, server side applications, okay, then be with Java and Python. Is that okay? You understood this?
Okay. Yes,
Yeah?
thank you.
And apart from that, yes, see, these are only languages, right? But if you want to move ahead more, then you will have to again learn server side technologies. Like, when you come to Java, you should know servlets, JSP, okay, which are basically, which makes use of this Java language to drive the whole system. Okay, no. So today people even ask for, the front end technologies, back end technologies, database, everything they ask, right? So the main thing is the programming language, and the front end you can learn by yourself. Okay, but yes, you definitely need help when you want to learn some business logic, when server side programming, like servlets and JSP and all that. Okay, so I normally do a course on that. So if you're interested, you can take it up after this course is over. Is that okay?
Yes, sir, sure, thank you.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, okay. Right, guys. So how do you suggest us to learn concepts and syntax through documentation or through courses? Pratiksha, I'll be teaching you all these things now through the courses. Okay, I'll be teaching you. So just follow my syntax. Okay. Yeah. So Suhas, what do you mean by object oriented? Don't worry, I'll be teaching you that in the course. Okay. So I'm finally now new to programming. Can I get a job in IT field at the end of 4 months? Or they ask about previous projects and all that. Balaji Kumaran, what is it? I'm in final year. Now I am new to programming. Balaji Kumaran, can you please unmute yourself and talk to me? I did not understand your question. Okay. Ajit Kumar, what is embedded systems? I think Ajit Kumar, you must do a quick Google search on it. What is embedded systems? You can learn more. Basically, embedded systems is where you actually, talk about your chipsets and all that, your hardware chipsets and all that. Your hardware part of your mobile phone is an example of embedded systems. Okay. So more on that, you can do it, do a Google and all that. Okay. Yeah. So Balaji Kumaran, I did not understand your question. You can quickly, unmute and talk to me. Right. Sir, what is front end and back end? Sir, I'm not very sure about it. Don't worry, Shilpa, if you're not understanding, don't worry. Okay. Yeah. Balaji, tell me. Balaji.
Ramdev here.
Who is this?
Ramdev.
Ramdev. Yeah, Ramdev, tell me.
Yeah, this is first class for me. Actually, I came from the production support. I'm having the 13 plus years of experience. Due to the experience, my increases. Actually, I don't have the programming knowledge idea.
Okay.
I'm very good in the shell scripting.
Okay.
This actually nowadays the companies are growing for the microservices.
Okay.
But compulsory it's required the development also.
Okay.
That's why I joined, and in the last 1 month I checked for the Google everything. You are the best. I saw that.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay.
Is there any way for that? I know the programming techniques concepts. I want to do the CA/CD and architectural level.
Okay.
How can this course will helpful for me on that? You can.
Do you have any coding experience before?
Yes, only 1 year experience when I was the first company.
Okay.
After that, I moved into the support roles. Actually,
Okay.
I have idea on the scripting. Now
Scripting is totally
every
different.
company-
Scripting is different. Okay. Huh.
Shell scripting.
Shell scripting
Now
is totally
every
different.
company is moving on to the microservices model, CA/CD, everything. We should know. You know that nowadays the market trends.
I know.
If the
I
experience is increasing, we should know everything on that. Not only
Yeah.
for that.
Correct.
And
Correct.
also, mine when the production support guy, even 1 or 2, 5 years person also can do all the steps, troubleshooting everything once we have prepared the document. But for the experienced people, it's very difficult for me. That's why I've chosen. Can you please give me your valuable guidance on that? That's why last 1 month I'm checking on that. I'm in the dilemma situation. That's why, Subhash.
No problem.
I need your help on this.
No, what we can do is, I think we can have a talk offline after the class so that I'll be able to talk to you in more detail. Is that okay?
Yes, sure.
Is that okay? Because that is not related to the session for now, but I can definitely help you out. So once we'll complete the session offline, and then we can have an, you can message me, and then we'll have a mutual timing, and then we'll discuss. Is that okay? If you don't mind,
Yeah,
Ramdev?
sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, Ramdev. So you can just drop me a message. So we'll have a mutual timing and we'll talk to each other. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, guys, any other questions? You can, so we should go with the domain in the company we get as a fresher. What if we get open in two different company, two different domain? How should we choose one among two? Choose any as a fresher. I told you, I've given you the answer. Choose any as a fresher. Is that okay? As a fresher, don't mind getting to any domain. Okay. Yeah. But once you are experienced, continue with that domain is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. So what do you mean by learning an OS, sir? Tyanesh, awesome question. What do you mean by an, learning an OS? Learning an OS means that you must know. Okay, good question. Yeah, really good question. I really want to answer this question. Okay, so fantastic. When I talk about, when I ask students, okay, do you know operating system? They say, yes, sir, I know, operating systems. I know Windows 9. They start from 90, Windows 90, 95, 98, NT, XP, and Windows 7, Windows 8, everything they know. Okay, but the moment I ask them, what do you know in Windows? Okay, they say, I know how to operate Microsoft PowerPoint. I know how to actually do, Microsoft Office. I know all those. I know how to run a, movie player on Windows. Guys, that is not I'm actually asking you. When I say learn operating system, okay, I'm trying to tell you, do you know to do coding on process management system? Do you know file management system? Do you know threadings or multi-threading in your Windows operating system? Do you know socket programming in your operating system? Do you know to write device drivers? Okay, this is what I'm trying to tell you, right? So Tyanesh, when I say you have to learn an operating system, you have to learn to code all these things using your operating system. This is what I'm trying to tell you, Tyanesh. Tyanesh, did you understand? Yeah. So these are all called as operating system internals. Okay, internals, you'll have to use it. Is that okay? Yeah. Awesome, Tyanesh. That was a really good question. Okay. So sir, can you please suggest some videos or any method to understand C language in the best way? Okay. So Vaishnavi, yeah, I will tell you. Just message me personally, Vaishnavi. Okay, to my number, I'll give you some links. Okay. Yeah. Sir, you said you should go with domain. Anusha, I told you. Okay. So can we install Java software in Windows 8, sir? Yes, you can install. I'll tell you how to do that tomorrow. Okay. So what is front end and back end, sir? I'm not very sure about it. So Shilpa, don't worry about front end, back end. It's a very huge topic. Okay, to discuss. Absolutely don't worry for now. Just understand Java for now. That is more than enough. Okay, Shilpa? Yeah. So what do you mean by object oriented? I'll be teaching you in the entire session. So don't worry now. What is object oriented? Okay. So Kausalya, can you share the link in the group, sir? Okay. Okay. Just ask me whatever you want in the group. I'll put that in the link. Okay. Yeah. So how to learn an OS, sir? How to learn? You'll have to have a mentor. You'll have to take a book and you'll have to learn and all that. Okay. So that is how it is, Zeba. Okay. Yeah. So I'll share some links to learn OS and all that. Okay. Yeah. So Pawan, sir, explain OS in short again, sir. Very simple. Operating system is used to take the command from your applications, go to the hardware, talk to the hardware, get the work done from the hardware, and give it back to your application. Okay, no, right? That is how your OS works. Okay, so
Hello,
I
sir.
think yeah. Tell me, who is that?
Sir, my name is Balaji, sir.
Hi, Balaji. Tell me, Balaji.
Sir, my question is about is there any projects related with IT field to enter into IT job, sir?
I mean, projects.
The
is there
company
in
ask
where?
about projects, sir. Is the company ask about projects, previous projects?
For a fresher, most probably they might not ask for projects and all that. They'll only check your technical skill. But again, there are a few companies who will check for your projects also.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Okay. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Any other question? Can I mark the class as complete? Can I mark the class complete, guys? Hello, can I mark the class complete? Yes. Okay. Did you enjoy the session? Did you enjoy today's session? Learn something new? Yes, no? Awesome. Okay. So fine, guys. So meet you tomorrow. I would be starting Java, the introduction to Java tomorrow. Is that okay? Yeah. So meet you tomorrow sharp at 8 o'clock. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Love you all so much. Bye.